Hello everyone, it's finally time for the MLB season to begin, and we have a two-game slate on Thursday, July 23rd. It is going to be only two games, but Draftkings is offering a very nice $3 contest. You can enter three times, and it's risk-free, meaning that you will be guaranteed to win at least your $3 back per entry. So the matchups here are going to be Yankees against the Nationals, Giants against the Dodgers. Pitching, obviously, there's going to only be four options, same with like catcher, but these are three very good pitchers at the top. Obviously, Cole, Cy Young winner, now with his new team, and then Scherzer's still a beast, even though he's aging. Kershaw's a little bit regressing now that he's getting older. Cueto, he's just not the same pitcher that he once was, but he definitely still makes for a contrarian pick because of a two-game slate. He is the only cheap pitcher on the slate. So looking at pitcher, my two picks are going to be Garrett Cole and Clayton Kershaw. So with Cole, he's going to be against the Nationals, and it's just kind of like the price, $10K on a two-game slate. It's going to be very important to get the best pitcher, and that's going to be Garrett Cole. It's not an argument whether it's Cole or Scherzer here. Cole's getting in the matchup against the Nationals. Scherzer, a tougher matchup against the Yankees. Yes, he is cheaper, but Cole is by far the better pitcher. And you have to remember that this is going to be both teams are going to have the DH now with the new rule, 3-batter minimum, all of that stuff, extra innings. So it's more of a, I don't want to say like a level playing field, but there's no more advantage to National League pitchers being able to face off against the opposing pitcher. So Cole at 10K here. I just think that you need to pick up the Cy Young winner here in a spot where really you only have four options. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up the best pitcher. Arguably one of the best pitchers in the entire league. So Clayton Kershaw going to be my second pick. Against the Giants, very good matchup. Giants are not expected to be a contender. They're going to be probably towards the bottom of the entire league, really. And Kershaw's only 7,700. It's going to be too cheap. Yes, he is. The price is close to Max Scherzer at 8,600. But I would think that many people are not going to play dueling pitchers, meaning they're not going to pick Cole with Scherzer. And if you look at the entire slate, those $900 actually are going to be important when you're building your bats. So Kershaw's played against these Giants a lot. He's had a very good career on opening day starts. He had an injury last year, so he wasn't able to start on opening day, but he's had a very good track record on opening starts, and the Giants definitely not something that we should be afraid of. And there are some righties some righty like platoon guys that hit lefties well, but they're actually going to be hurt. Like Evan Longoria, he's not going to be starting the season in the lineup, and then Brandon Bell, he's a lefty, but he's not going to be in the lineup either. He's also hurt. Buster Posey opting out of the season. There's just a lot of guys that that are the Giants' best bats that aren't even going to be playing. So there's less risk of that, and Kershaw just makes for a pretty safe play, especially when he's probably going to get the win here with Cueto on the opposing side. At catcher, Garrett Sanchez, 4,400. It's Sanchez, Will Smith, probably Kurt Suzuki, and then Tyler Heineman. Heineman is a minor league catcher. He's always just kind of been in the minors, and he's not anything crazy of a hitter. So 3,400 against Kershaw, I'd probably just cross him off the list. Obviously, if you really want to punt, then sure, it is a 4-game slate, so maybe the other three catchers don't do much, and you just save. But Garrett Sanchez is by far the best hitter at the position here. He's 4,400. Price, very fair. Tough matchup against Scherzer. But Sanchez is a guy that definitely can hit righties. He actually hits them better. And so he's just the best catcher. You take talent over everything here if you're going with Gary. Will Smith, 4,200. I think he's going to be popular because of Dodger stacks. He does get the best matchup for catchers. So Will Smith, 4,200, should be starting over Austin Barnes. And then Kurt Suzuki, 4,100. He hits lefties better, but I mean, it is a 2-game slate once again. And Kurt Suzuki, we know he has power. Garrett Cole, very tough matchup, but Similar to a lot of these other top pitchers around the league, they do give up occasional solo home runs, but I just rather pay a little bit more for Smith or Sanchez. And then Hyman already talked about, he's just not really someone I'm going to pick. I'd rather just pick Sanchez or Smith. At first base, Max Muncy, Eric Thames. I'd go with Muncy here if it's picking between those two. Harry Kenrick, price pretty similar as well. I'd rather go with Muncy because of the matchup against Cueto. Just don't really want to pick on Garrett Cole there with Thames and Kenrick, especially when you're just paying a little bit more to get Muncy in a much more favorable matchup. Muncy, something to note, is coming off of an injury, but he has been in the lineup these past few games, so he should be ready to start on opening day. Luke Voight, someone that I like here against Max Scherzer, 4,200. If you look at the other options, I think Voight stands out as opposed to Thames, Kenrick, and if you scroll down, there just really isn't, there aren't many options. So I think Voight's going to make sense here because he is the cheaper of these, you could say top four for first baseman on the slate. Max Muncy, I think I want to play him at second base, depending if you want to play Voight or if you want to target Cole. If you're not going to play him, you go with Scherzer and Kershaw as your pitchers, but because I am going with Cole, I'm not going to be playing Thames or Kenrick. So I'm going to put in Luke Voight here for first. Second base, DJ Mayhew. It says out, but if you look at the news, he is trending towards playing, actually. It initially was reported that the manager, he didn't expect him to be ready for opening day, but he's looking really good. At least everything is pointing towards the notion of him being able to start for opening day. So keep an eye on him. He's definitely going to be, I would say, it's close between Muncy because of the matchup, but LeMahieu's definitely the much more talented hitter. But just watch out for LeMahieu because if he's out, then I think Muncy is going to be a popular second base pick. Glaber, you can't go wrong with him either, 4,300, very fair price. Lux in the minors. Escribal, possibly, he is 3,900, a little bit cheaper if you need the savings. Wilmer Flores I like because he is 3,800. He's known as a guy who hits lefties, so you got to consider him. Probably going to be hitting towards the middle of the order because the Giants are definitely missing a lot of their bats. And I'll talk about Dubon at shortstop because I think that might be a better place. But second base, I'm going to put in Muncy. Third base, Urshela Andujar. Both of them have reverse splits against Scherzer. Again, tough matchup, but 2 games late. You just got to pick. You got to pick these guys that are in tough spots. And Justin Turner, 4,100, probably going to be more popular because he just makes sense. He's a really good price against Cueto, makes sense for Dodgers stacks. Starlin Castro has some pretty good numbers against Garrett Cole, actually. He had a very quiet last season. He's actually a very talented hitter. Like, if you look at his numbers, 270, 22 homers for the season. That's pretty solid. And now he... it says that he's going to be hitting third, which is very good because of, even though without Anthony Rendon, they still have a very talented lineup, obviously led by Juan Soto. So Starlin Castro, even though he is better against the lefties, again, just there's not a lot of options here. So if you're not picking Garrett Cole, it makes sense to have some nationals. So maybe go with Thames, and then Castro makes sense at third. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pablo Sandoval, probably going to DH. He's 3,500, but I'm going with Kershaw, so I can't pick too many Giants bats. So third base, I probably lean towards Turner if you're stacking the Dodgers. If not, you can go with Urshela or Andujar. Between them, I think you probably lean Andujar because Urshela is probably going to be hitting ninth, and you probably want someone hitting higher in the order, and also you do save with Andujar if you go with him. At shortstop, Trey Turner, 5,100. I don't want to go with him here because I am going with Garrett Cole. So I don't want to be paying up for a bat when I'm picking the most expensive pitcher. He does have a very solid upside with his power. Not a lot, but he definitely has it. He has enough to hit it out. And then his speed. We all know about that part of his game. Corey Seager, 4,400. Going to be a popular pick. Just, again, picking on Cueto. Gleyber Torres, mentioned him. Carter Kieboom, he might start at third. He might not. He was supposed to, but the manager later said that maybe a Struble could be starting there. So remains to be seen. But 3,700, not too bad Again, tough match against Cole, but there's not a lot of options here. And then Mauricio Dubon, 3,100. He's someone that's going to be like a utility guy, sort of like, I guess, Brock Holt. But Dubon, he's supposed to be more of a center fielder, but because they do have a lot of injuries right now and a lot of guys that aren't going to be able to play, Dubon is a righty, so he gets that platoon advantage against Kershaw. Yolmer Sanchez, somebody that has been getting a few starts in exhibition games. He did pick up an injury today, so Dubon could possibly be like the option because they don't have Yolmer, and then along with Wilmer Flores, obviously. So Dubon at 3,100, you get probably one of the better value plays on the slate. It is against Clayton Kershaw, but again, just limited options. You're going to need to pick possibly one guy at least one player that is going against your pitcher, because it's tough to build a lineup if you don't. And the Giants, they do have a lot of value guys like Dubon. Brandon Crawford, he's had an awful history against Clayton Kershaw, lefty, but Crawford, he's probably going to hit towards the middle of the order because the Giants just lack offensive power. But, I mean, it's a high chance that he just ends the game with 0. But if you really just need a save, you want to punt, pay up other options, then sure, Crawford. But I'd rather go with Dubon, pay up $400 for him. And then outfield, Cody Bellinger, 5,100. Mookie Betts, 49. I'd rather go with Bellinger here. Bellinger is a better hitter than Betts, and you're only paying 200 more. You also get the platoon advantage, and I just think that you need to go with the guy, and that's going to be Bellinger here of the slate. Bellinger over Trey Turner for sure. Same price. I just rather have a much more talented hitter. And I don't really need to say much. I think you just kind of lock him in. I don't need to tell you to play Bellinger. Juan Soto, 4,800. I'm going to go with Bellinger over Soto here. So I'm not going to go with him. But we all know he's already a star. He's going to become an MVP candidate. So if you want to play him, I can't blame you. Hunter Pence, 4,700. I was looking at him before the slate came out with the salaries, but at 4,700, I'd rather go with Soto at this point. Like, I don't want to pay that much for Hunter Pence, even though he is a very good hitter against lefties. Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, they're okay. I'm not going to say no, but it's going to be tough to plug these guys in your lineup, especially if you're looking at that salary right now. We're going with Cole and Scherzer. And if you pay up for Bellinger, you probably can't take these guys. Jock Peterson, 4,500. I'd rather have Cody Bellinger, but we know Jock has that massive power. He's always someone that we like to target when he's going up against the righty, and I really want to pick him here, but I just rather go with Bellinger. Sure, you can probably find a way to put Peterson in. I'll definitely have him in my other lineups, but when I'm trying to pay up for other positions, I just can't really fit all these guys in the mid 4Ks, upper, close to 5K players. Aaron Hicks is all right, 4,200. Gardner as well, 4,100. The Yankees are just absolutely stacked this year. Even though it is a tough matchup, I keep saying that. But, I mean, it's 2-game slate. Obviously, it's opening day. All the aces are going to be pitching. All these everyday starters are going to be out there. So, you just kind of take the talent, and that's why I'm going with guys like Garrett Sanchez possibly as a catcher. Yastrzemski's all right, but, again, just not going to go with too many Giants. I don't mean Victor Robles possibly, because it does fit in with the salary if you're going with this build. It gets a platoon advantage, but Robles does have that stolen base threat, and we know Garrett Sanchez, he does have some fielding issues. He has a good arm, but he's not a good defensive catcher. He's improving. That's what the reports have been. But Victor Robles is someone that we know has speed, top prospect, tough matchup. I don't need to keep repeating that, but Robles, I think he does have more upside because of the speed over Eaton. So go with him, especially when you're saving $100. And then going down, if Austin Slater gets a start because he is a righty and with all the injuries, they started a guy named, I think, Joe McCarthy today at exhibition. He's not even on the slate, so I don't really know too much about him, but possibly Slater could be starting at first with Brandon Bell out, especially when he has a platoon advantage here. And at that point, Dubon, Slater, 3,100 apiece. It's going to be tough going with 2 hitters against your own pitcher, but that is going to be where the value comes from. And then other guys, Tauchman, 2,100, probably not going to be starting because the Yankees are just stacked with Judge, Stanton with the DH2. Hicks, Gardner. So that's already 4 outfielders. So I don't see Tauchman or like Clint Frazier starting here unless something happens, obviously. And that's really pretty much it. So I think for this slate, you're going to go with Garrett Cole, Clayton Kershaw as your 2 pitchers. I think those are going to be your popular picks. And I like Luke Voight, and then Max Muncy and Cody Bellinger. Dodger stack, everyone's going to be on that. So you could definitely be contrarian and go with like Johnny Cueto. Very nice leverage. And then you go with like Nationals bats, or you go with Giants bats. But I think this is definitely going to be the build. Kind of like a cash build, but on a 2-game slate, I do encourage you guys to go for only GPPs, so tournament contests. And this is just going to be the breakdown for the opening day MLB slate for the 23rd. So good luck to you guys on this slate. And once NBA starts back, I'll probably be doing videos on that, focusing on NBA over MLB. So I'll be doing that in a week. But for now, this is going to be the breakdown. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Good luck. Bye.